Hey, and welcome to this video on the Tableau Certified Data Analyst exam. We're going to be talking about the topic of performing cleaning operations. And here's what we're going to cover. First, I'm going to show you how to connect to data in Tableau Prep, and then how to remove columns in the input step, and then finally making additional changes in the clean step. And so this is the documentation here. First, this is a screenshot showing the sample files, and so I'm going to be downloading those to start with, and then also the documentation on how to clean your data, right? This is not going to be comprehensive of every single cleaning operation, but it'll show you different aspects of the cleaning interface, especially on the clean step, right? And so now we're going to go into the demo. I'm just going to switch over here to Tableau. And so first thing I'm going to do, just grab this URL with the sample files, right? So I'm just going to download these four. I don't think I'm going to use all of them, but just download these 4 files here. And then I'm going to switch over to Tableau Prep. And I'm going to close this and start over. And so now I'm going to go to the Connect to Data step in Tableau Prep Builder. Do connect to data, and I think my first file is a CSV. There's a couple CSVs and also an Excel, right? So I'll start off with either Orders West or Orders Central. I'll start off with Orders West like this, and this is now the input step here, right, for Orders West. So the data has been loaded here, and I get a preview of the fields. I can change from field list to data preview up here. Right, so this is a preview of the data. It's not loading every single row, but it's loading some of them so that I can kind of inspect the data, or I can just look at the fields. And so as I scroll down, I notice that there's a bunch of fields that are repeated, right? So I've got, for example, up here, row ID, and then here I have right row ID. And then I have order ID, and down here I have, maybe that one's not repeated. Here I have right order date. Up here I've got order date again, ship date. Up here I've got ship date again, right? And so I basically want to get rid of all of these extra columns. So that's what I'm going to do. Highlight all of these, and then do more options. Remove fields to get rid of all of these duplicated columns. And so that is the first step to do with data cleaning, basically removing columns, and that's one that I can actually do in the input step, right? So now I'm going to move on to Orders Central. I'm going to add that. So I'm going to go back over to here. Let's see, I want to add a new file, Orders Central. And so now I get another input step, right? So this is the Orders West input step, and this is the Orders Central input step. And so in the input step, I'm going to look down, and if you look through these columns, you'll notice there's no region column, right? And so I'm going to add a cleaning step and add that region column here. So I'm going to do, click this to create a cleaning step here. And then I'm going to create a calculated field to add that region column. So I'll do this, call this region, and then central, like that. Say OK, save, and add that. And so that's one. And then if I look at these columns, another issue I see is that there's an order year, an order month, and an order day, but there's no order date column. So I'm going to create a second calculated field to create that order date. Order date, and I'm going to use this function makeDate. And then it says I should do the year, month, and day. So I'll do order year, comma, order month, comma, order day. And so that creates that order date field. And then once I have this, I can actually remove the original columns because these don't really add anything, any information to the data. They just kind of are cluttering it up. Since I already have this order date, I can just right click and let's see if I can remove these, delete. Just gonna just do remove fields like that. And so now we still have this, we should have an order date column right here, but no longer have the order month, order year, and order day. So that's the next step. Now, looking at other fields here, we see this discounts column. There's a problem with this discounts column, which is that it's a string type. So I'm just going to switch it over to a decimal number. And so now all those none values will be changed to null, and this will be represented as a decimal rather than as a text string. And so now I'm going to give this this step, this cleaning step, a more descriptive name. I'll call this date change and discounts to number, something like that, to number. I change the name so I have a little description of what I'm doing on this step, and that's going to be it for the order central data. And so now I'm going to add another file here. In this case, it's an Excel file. It doesn't really matter. We can connect to the same data sets that you can connect to in Tableau Desktop. You can connect to with Prep. So I'm going to open up this Excel file. And then I'm going to take a look at a cleaning step here again. Take a look at the data. And so one thing that jumps out is that sales has USD in front of the $sign. We go over to here, select clean, and then remove letters. The sales value doesn't have USD on it anymore. It's still a string, so we just switch it over to a decimal number. Just going to change this name, rename before I do that. Correct US sales, make sales numeric. Just put that comment there. Then go over to Orders West. And for Orders West, we want to fix the state. So if we look over here at the state, we have AZ, and if we look at the other ones, we have it spelled out. So I'm going to go over to state here. Somewhere in this, okay. And I'm going to do more options. We're going to do a group values manual selection to basically fix all of these different state names. So we're going to select first AZ. So this is going to take a little while manually renaming these fields, right? But this is what you have to do in this case to make sure that they're conformed, right? Because the other orders data sets don't use abbreviations, they use the full name. And so here I'm just going through and I'm renaming all of these columns, right? So that's and now I'm just going to save the file because later on I want to combine these different orders. Superstore prep, something like that. Save this file, and that's it for the cleaning for now. There are other cleaning operations we haven't covered, right? So we, for example, identify duplicate rows, split values. We didn't look at all of those, but this is an idea of what cleaning looks like in Tableau Prep Builder.